Hi guys, Scott here from Scamp School of Dog Training. Today we're going to talk about toilet training your pup. Training your pup to go outside, really easy, providing you're patient, you're consistent, and you don't mind getting up at silly o'clock in the morning. Well worth putting the time in. The earlier you do it, the quicker your dog becomes clean, and the better everyone's life is. Really easy. All we have to do is get the behaviour we want and reward it. It's no different to teaching the dog anything at all. So the first thing we've got to do is expel the myths. What we don't do is tell the dog off for going inside. The dog is doing nothing wrong at all if he goes inside. Quite simply, he's going to the toilet where he thinks he should. If you tell him off, he's not going to associate that with him being indoors and not being outdoors. The only thing he's going to associate a telling off with is going to the toilet in front of you. So if the dog starts going inside and you start screaming, shouting, smacking him, rub his nose in it. Yes, some people still do that, think it's acceptable to rub a dog's nose in its wee and think the dog's going to learn, oh, I've had my nose rubbed in some wee, next time I'll do it outside. If you do any of that, all the dog's going to do is make sure he doesn't go in front of you. And that causes lots of issues because now he stops going in the middle of the lounge where you can see him. He'll go behind the settee, or he will wait till you're out the room because he thinks if you're in the room, you're going to rub his nose in it. The other problem is when you take him outside for a wee, you'll be waiting for ages. Why? Because he thinks if he goes anywhere near you, you're going to rub your nose in it or tell him off. So he will wait until he really has to go. Or he'll wait till you're out of sight. Really not beneficial to you or the dog, and totally unnecessarily punishing the dog for going inside. So, how do we teach the dog to go outside? Quite simply, when the dog needs to go to the toilet, we take him outside, and when he goes, we reward the hell out of him. If we get him outside every time when he needs to go, A, it becomes habitual. B, if he has a party when we're out there, i.e. we give him lots of food, love, affection, play, he's going to hold it because he knows when he goes out there and goes, something good's going to happen. So what we will need to do, when the dog needs to go, and we know when the dog's going to need to go, your pup is going to need to go as soon as it wakes up. So instead of waiting for the dog to wake up and start asking or have a tiddle, we get up early and we get the dog up, get his lead on, run outside, jiggle if you can, jiggle the dog's bladder while you're running, get the dog outside. I'd keep the dog on the lead at this stage. When the dog tiddles, throw some food down, tell him he's a good boy, good girl, lots of fuss, and then let him off the lead. The reason you want to take him on the lead is twofold. Number one, as the dog learns that every time it's weed, it's let off the lead for a run, it means he's going to wee faster. So when you go out, you're not going to be waiting 10 minutes every time for the dog to have a tiddle. You're going to get outside, the dog's going to tiddle to be let off the lead. Number two, it means the dog's close to you, so you can reward. If you just do that, that will teach your dog to be clean. Quite simply, get him outside when he needs to go. You know he's going to need to go first thing in the morning. You know probably a couple of 3 hours later. If somebody's come round and he's got excited because he's got very little bladder control, we can take him outside after lunch, after his dinner, after his third meal. You want to get him out, give him a little time and then take him out. And at least 2 hours before you put him into his bed or his crate, because you want to make sure he's got time to expel. And quite simply, we reward. I really recommend that you keep a diary of the dog going to the toilet, wheeze and poops. Might sound really sad or a bit weird, but you'll actually start to see what time he's going, and then you can go out. If you get up in the morning at 6 o'clock and the dog's already had a tiddle, tomorrow get up at 5. Get up before the dog and get the dog out. It really is as simple as that. Puppy pads, waste of time. All puppy pads do is slow down the process, because to get the dog to go on the puppy pad, you've got to reward the dog when it goes on the pad, whether that's with fuss or food. So you're actually teaching the dog to go inside. At some point, you've got to get rid of the puppy pads and teach the dog to go outside by rewarding the dog when he goes outside. So why on earth would you want to teach the dog to go inside before you teach him to go out? So do away with your puppy pads and get the dog out in time and reward. If the dog does go inside, and bear in mind the dog's going to reach 20, 21, 22 weeks before he's got full bladder control. So it's not his fault. So he's likely to have a few accidents, or you're likely to oversleep, or somebody might not be watching the dog. Obviously at this age, somebody should be watching the dog pretty much all the time. And that way, if you see the dog start to circle around, start sniffing in a circle, dog's probably going to go. So in that case, on the lead, take the dog out, have a wee, big rewards, good boy, good girl, lots of food, lots of fuss, let off the lead. There's a superb dog behaviourist and psychologist, doctor and a vet, guy called Dr. Ian Dunbar. Wonderful, wonderful man. He gave me the best piece of advice I've ever had about dog training, and quite simply it was about toilet training, but you can actually use it for any part of training. He said, when you're teaching a dog to toilet inside, always carry a rolled up newspaper around, and if the dog toilets inside, hit yourself over the head with it, because you made the mistake, not the dog. And if you think about that, you won't go far wrong. Get the dog out and reward every time. We can actually go one step further than that. When we take the dog out, the first time you take him out, or for the first week, when he starts to go to the toilet, use a cue. I use we. Some people think it's crude and might use be quick or toilet. I just use we. So you pick your cue. So when you take your dog out again on the lead, first thing in the morning and a couple of hours later, and after he's had his dinner and after somebody exciting's come, you take him out and you start using that cue when he starts to go to the toilet. Don't start it before. He doesn't know what it means. So it'll just be double Dutch. Wait till he starts. Wait till there's urine coming out. And then it's Fido wee. Fido wee. Wee. Fido wee. Wee wee. Good boy. And as soon as he's finished, the usual food, fuss, tension, let him off the lead and go. Do that for a whole week. Second week, slightly different. You wait till the dog starts to go, crouches down, about to go, just literally about to go, something's about to come out, and we go, Fido, wee. When he starts, good boy. When he's finished, we have a big party, we all jump up and down, we have lots of fuss, and we give the dog lots of treats, give him a big cuddle, let him off the lead, let him run round. Week 3, by now the dog should be going quite quick when you take him out, and by now he will have associated the word with the action, with the reward. So on the 3rd week, you take him out and you ask him to, before he even crouches down, Fido, wee. As he starts to go, you tell him he's a good boy, lots of rewards, lots of fuss after. By the 4th week, you'll have a dog that goes to the toilet on cue. Really, really useful, because that's when you're in a rush to go out and the dog wants to play and you need him to toilet, so you can leave him in the house. Or if you're going somewhere like a restaurant and he's coming in with you, or a pub, you don't want him tiddling in the middle of there because he's desperate, so you can ask him to go outside on the grass before you go in. Really, really useful. So in a nutshell, what we do, we don't tell the dog off at all. Serves no purpose. If we tell a dog off for going inside the house, all he'll do is stop going anywhere near us. We get the dog out first. We make sure when the dog needs to go, we get him out there. If he starts to circle, we get a lead on quick and we take him out. But we try and beat that first thing in the morning, a couple of 3 hours after that, if he's had a lot of water, after his meals, before he goes to bed. Take him on the lead, let him off the lead when he's gone. As soon as he's weed, party time, big party time. We want big emotional response to that dog. Huge. And we can put it on cue. If you follow that instruction, you won't go far wrong. There is just one other thing. If your dog tiddles inside, use an enzymatic cleaner. You can get them from Pets at Home or any other, there are other pet shops available. And you want a specialist dog urine cleaner. We do not want to use standard house cleaners because there's ammonia in it. If there is ammonia or vinegar in the cleaner, you will find that the dog will then want to mark its territory over the top of it. So you end up with this ongoing cycle. Dog tiddles, you clean it up with ammonia, the dog tiddles over the top, you put more ammonia, and so on and so on. So spend out an extra £5 on a specialist dog toilet, dog waste cleaner. Follow those instructions, you won't go wrong. Good luck guys, see you soon.